welcome to another delayed installment of what should be videos uploaded every week on my YouTube channel. That is me. Lots to do in a short amount of time, and there's just way too much going on, and I'm sorry. I'm actually sorry. And you know me, hopefully, that I'm in a habit of saying sorry when I actually mean it, instead of being like, you know, oh, I'm sorry, and not actually meaning it like a lot of people are. Finna make this video because I have been wanting to do it for so long. It's pissing me off how much I want to like post it and like so that like the world can watch it instead of like having to figure it out for themselves. And I'm really talking about, well, I'm probably talking about females in most of these parts of the video content, blah blah blah, but like I think guys can probably relate to this stuff too. Anyway, this video is gonna be called, of course it's in the title, but no one ever told me, to a bunch of like rules or maybe just like life lessons that no one told me, and I had to like figure it out for myself the hard way every single time. A few days ago, I really started thinking outside the box for this video. I may or may not have written ideas like all over these napkins. May or may not have. I'm literally gonna read it. To be in a world where women are the problem is the actual problem. What we wear, say, post, act like, and observe is taken away from so many young ones. It's ridiculous. All my life I was told I was different, and it didn't occur to me till recently why that was the only word ever used to describe myself. And here's why. I did my best for most of my teen years trying to make others feel better about themselves, whilst I was not following my own practice, on my own time, for myself. The reason I am different than other women and females in general is because I make myself feel good first. It's so great making people smile back at you just because you were smiling at them first. You're not putting on a show of happiness, but instead you genuinely feel it because you choose to have a great attitude. A great attitude doesn't mean being perfect, but it does mean finding the best in all that you can. A great attitude isn't made up of pure happiness and all the medals, honor, and or compliments people give you, but it's definitely being strong about all that comes your way. And that's what girls, women, and females are feeling today. So like that whole introduction is supposed to be like all in all, hey, I'm different because I choose to feel good about myself. And sometimes I see like other girls like not feeling so good, so they try to find it somewhere else. And yet a lot of times like I get talks at the dinner table about how I'm the problem based on what I'm wearing, what I say, what I post, what I act like. And I'm like, if I want to take a Snapchat story of me waking up in the morning, I'll do it. If I want to wear a kimono and a cami trying to layer, I will do it. It just so happens that I have 2 triple D watermelon cantaloupes on my chest that I cannot contain. I didn't ask for this. And you know, for some reason guys, like another society rule for guys apparently was to like not show emotion. That's all that both sexes have. We have so many emotions. And if we're not showing them all the time, going on Netflix and chill dates, being fuckboys all the time, we're not gonna know how to talk to each other. We're not gonna know what each other wants. Because if people are not going to tell me these things, I'm gonna tell you. Right now. Yeah, right now. Okay, so I'm gonna read down my napkin. First thing, no one ever told me I would be strong. Not physically strong, but just emotionally and physically strong, like together. No one told me they loved me long enough for me to believe it. And that's just people coming and going in my life. No one told me my body was going to be a toy. That was quite a revelation when I finally figured that out. No one told me how much a guy could warp my brain. Like how they could just like get under my skin to make me think all these bad thoughts. No one told me like to expect that. I gotta keep going. No one told me how Disney makes young girl princesses deceiving their parents giving you a happily ever after is not true. It's total BS. You don't get a happily ever after at 16 by deceiving your parents in the real world. When you're 16, you're probably like I don't know, sophomore in high school, junior. You're not about to find your life with a guy before you find yourself. No. No one told me the biggest memories happen in the smallest moments. No one told me the distinguishing between a big and small moment for like concrete crystal details. And I need to like know like what's a big problem, what's a small problem, what's a big moment and a small. No one ever told me what I wanted to hear. And that's not like compliments or encouragement or like an insult or I don't know like what else you would like want to hear. Who would want to hear an insult? I don't know. There have been so many times in my life that I was told what I needed to hear, not what I wanted. And that's kind of the reason why I have a need mentality versus like a wants. Next one. No one ever told me that people are capable of making you feel almost 5 emotions at once. And when I say that, I'm kind of talking about one person in general. No, 2, 3. There was like one guy that I was crazy about for, you know what, I'll give you guys an actual number, 12 years. For so long of my life, I thought about like this one guy. And then there's an opportunity to see him this year. And I kind of thought that like when that moment would come, I would like picture it in my head. And I'm like, would I smile at him and keep walking? Would I glare at him and scoff and like then turn my head? Would I get like so thrown off and like my eyes all wide that I just couldn't stop walking and like trip? Would I get distracted and like not be able to see around me because like he's the only one in the room? No one ever told me that someone could like do that to you, and it happened to me. My mom was the one that said, Alex, I think you would find a way to like combine all of those at the same time. And I'm like, yes, mama, you know me. No one ever told me to be my own person or like be original. Encouragement or advice, like, should I be doing something else? It's like, no. No one told me to be the cheerleader. No one told me to be the mascot. No one told me to be the all-star soccer player. No one told me to be the straight-A student or the valedictorian. I don't think really anybody's ever told me to be myself. It wasn't until like I figured out how much fun it is to like be myself that people were like, wow, you're like happy as fuck all the time and you like don't give a crap about if anybody thinks that's weird or not. Now I'm like, no! I'm having so much fun every day laughing at my own jokes. Like that's not my overpowering quality. I'm not funny, but there are so many things that just like make me laugh. Like, and people are like, who's that beautiful creature laughing at the potato sack? Anyway, we're getting farther down the napkin and we're getting into the sex statements. No one ever told me that the first time having sex was going to be painfully uncomfortable. That's a good way to phrase it. What you have to do to prepare, and I learned that there's no right guy to lose your virginity to. I'll say that from this video as if like you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But I tried to have sex. And because it was so painful and neither of us knew what we were doing, we stopped. I'm still a virgin and I'm not counting down the days till it's taken away from me. Apparently my vagina is precious. In high school I wasn't friends with the kind of people that were like encouraging me to lose it. Like, are you a virgin? Are you a hooker? Are you a sleut? But oh boy, once I had those female friends, that was all we talked about. We only talked about sex. I've had a lot of guy friends that have been like seriously impressed by that. I didn't know that like guys thought it was really cool when you just didn't do that kind of stuff. But it turns out like when you're confident with yourself and you're independent and you're not just like giving it away to anybody, that's like a really admirable quality. A guy or a girl, like it's pretty impressive, but it still makes the world go round, so it's gotta happen eventually. No one ever told me why everyone is different. Like, no one explained that to me. Despite the fact that there's like, what? A big number, lots of digits, amount of people in the world. Like, there's like no similar personality. Every time that phrase is said, Like, you meet somebody, it's like, wow, I've never met anybody like you. It's like, no shit, because there's no one else like me in the entire world. But like, if everyone's different, then why is it that like every time I'm talking to somebody, they're like, wow, you're not like everybody else? Of course I'm not. I'm my own fucking person. I think someone's home now. I'm gonna kind of go on a tour of my house and go to this roof porch. I didn't hit. As you can see in there, my family just came home and I'm not gonna get any peace and quiet at all. Now we're outside. Continuing from what I was going off earlier, no one ever told me about the epiphanies I was going to have in my life. Like when I realized that I didn't have to lose my virginity so early in my life. I didn't have to like be the most popular in school. I realized I didn't have to have a relationship with my abusive father. I didn't have to blend in to stand out. It's like a whole bunch of little things. And then it's like, oh my god, why didn't I think of that? No one told me that I would have so much confidence. Most people that meet me think that I'm like tops 26 years old. I'm like, I'm not that age. Give or take 9 years. And they're like, you're 35? No! What? I'm 18 years old. I'll be 19 in 3 months, but I'm still in college. I mean, my major in like small words is to make people feel good about themselves. And that's what I started this YouTube channel for. And I hope it's kind of working. I know when I look at my videos, I'm like smiling and I'm kind of like watching my progress and stuff. It's great. It's great. So just to wrap up the video, I'm gonna say the phone list that I had made. Being in any kind of spotlight changes people. There's lots of different scenarios that spotlight could mean, but when you're like, when I said in any kind of spotlight, I kind of meant like under pressure or you're like put on the spot. So like anytime that happens, people are going to change and they're not going to be like what you usually like probably know them as. Next thing, you watching this video, you're good at something. You may not know it yet, or maybe you don't want people to know about it, but you are good at something, and don't let people tell you that you're not good at anything. Because I can almost guarantee you, you have a secret talent, you have a secret passion, you are good at something, and I really hope it's something that you love to do, because when you love what you do, or you love your work, you will never have to work a day in your life. I guarantee it. Next thing, people will point out the obvious, not wanting to be sassed. So I shouldn't give them attitude for what they don't know about me. The amount of times that people said to me, oh my gosh, you're so confident. It's like, I'm not gonna like backsass. You should not do that. It's like the same thing as like asking about a haircut. But again, like when people ask you like, hey, did you get a haircut? Do not pull some sass-ass comment from your butt and be rude. Like, nah, I didn't get a haircut, it just grew shorter. It's like, fuck you. People are not by your side every minute of every day watching you change and grow. Do not be like sassy rude, like, good God. Okay, the next two things are like 0 to 100 real quick. No one ever told me that a kiss is just a kiss, but it can still mean a lot. And I really wish someone told me. I mean, part of the reason that I held on to that guy for 12 years, despite the fact that it was a really bad kiss that we had together. It must have been one kiss if I haven't let it go for all this time, you know? And then the last thing that no one ever told me, this is like the most important thing I think I could ever say in this video. Especially from the like research that I did watching YouTube vids in inspiration to make this one about guys and girls and their differing views on casual sex. No one ever told me that I shouldn't have to ask the person I am having sex with what my name is. Because apparently there's quite a trend in lots of casual relationships in college all over this, or at least across this nation that I've seen, girls have to ask guys what their name is before they actually, like, make a physical connection with each other. The fuck is up with that? No. That's, like, the most screwed up, messed up thing I have ever heard. It is not okay, and no one ever told me, so I'm telling you now. I don't know how many young girls are watching my videos, but I hope to God that you are. And when it comes time for you to fall in love with somebody, you should not have to know a guy for a week, or maybe just an hour, and then decide that you're just gonna take your clothes off and be with each other, and you have to ask each other what their name is. You do not have to. You should not need to ask the person that you are making love to what your name is. I hope to God, please don't do it. I realize that this video is like getting really strong and actually like legit really heated because I'm outside. Stresses me out so bad. It's so stupid. I don't know how a lot of people are going to react to this video, but the whole point of this video was that if no one ever told you this stuff, I'm telling you now. And you know, this is just part one. There are going to be more. I can almost promise you viewers of mine that there will be a part two. It takes so much for me to put all these thoughts into a video, especially with like planning and stuff, because like I think about it all the time, but I'm also like doing a lot of other stuff in my life, and I really appreciate you guys just taking the time to watch this. So feel free to give this video a thumbs up and comment any like question that you have. If you really like hearing about all these rants and observations that I make and have like all the time, I'll put some links for my social media accounts in the description below. Really love it if you guys subscribe to my channel. I made a summer bucket list back in, I believe, May, early June. One of the things I wanted to do was get 100 subscribers on YouTube. Because I haven't been posting a lot, it may not happen, but you know what? If you guys make it happen, I will be eternally grateful, because I think this channel is going to last like real long. In the meantime, later.